from John Mashute. Any indication that Flower will work for the Wild organization after he retires?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of that depends on what role it might be. Like, I think that he has said he's probably going to retire in like Vegas or Montreal, right? Or wants his family to kind of, or live there eventually after he's done. So I can see a scenario where the Wild approach him about being like a roving goalie consultant. I don't see him being like a goalie coach and like going on the road like 40 times a year and having that kind of schedule. I know how much he wants to spend time with his girls and his family. So if he can be in a situation where he doesn't have to live kind of full time in Minnesota, and there's a role that's he could be kind of a rotating one that can go to Iowa, he can kind of make some look at some top prospects, maybe do a scouting trip or two. I think there is a possibility that could happen. But it just kind of depends on how he feels after this year, his last year in the playing career, of what that role might look like. I just don't see him necessarily being a goalie coach. He would be a great one. I just don't know if he wants to kind of go through that grind again of going through and not playing. It'd be one thing to go through the grind and travel, but to not play. So that would be I haven't talked to him about this recently, about what's next, but I think the Wild would have interest in maintaining that relationship with him, because there's no better person to teach young goaltenders, whether it's Wellsett or whatever, about being a pro than him.
I mean, can he just be like chief locker room officer? Like, just keep him around for the vibes, if nothing else. I don't know. I'm sure they'll throw anything at him, like find a way to work with him if he's so inclined. But like you said, he's probably not going to be one to travel.
Well, I mean, I think he loves being around the guys. He loves being part of the team. I just know that if you play 20 years in the league, guys usually take a little bit of time to figure out what they want to do, right? And then kind of even Guerin took some time to be work as executive, or kind of dip his feet in before you start just jumping right into the coaching. I think he would probably be one of those guys, a big family man the way he is, that he'd want to take a little step back and spend as much time as he can with his kids. And if he could get a role where he can be not there full time on the team, then I can see a scenario where he'd be very valuable in some sort of role here.